90% of the peach, plum, and cherry pits people plant never sprout. And it's not because the seed was bad, it's because of one step almost every home grower skips completely before it ever goes into soil. If you're serious about growing your own peaches, plums, and cherries from seed, not just buying nursery stock every year, but actually producing strong, healthy trees from the pits sitting in your kitchen right now, then this channel is exactly where you need to be. I share real, practical, field-tested growing tips every single week. No fluff, no guessing, just what actually works in real orchards and real backyards. So if that sounds like something you want in your life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now before you get distracted. Because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming in the next few weeks. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do to your peach, plum, and cherry pits before you ever put them in the ground. By the end of this video, you'll understand why most pits fail, what's actually happening inside that hard shell, and the exact professional method growers use to get fast, strong root development almost every single time. This isn't theory. This is what I do myself, season after season, and it works. Let's talk about the reality first, because I want you to understand why this problem even exists. Every year, thousands of people eat a delicious peach, save the pit, toss it in a pot of soil, water it, and wait, and wait, and wait. Weeks go by. Nothing happens. Some people wait months. Eventually, they give up, throw the pit away, and tell themselves they just don't have a green thumb. But here's the truth. It was never about their gardening skill. The pit was simply never given what it needed to wake up. A peach, plum, or cherry pit isn't just a seed sitting there ready to grow the moment it touches soil. It's a dormant, sleeping embryo locked inside a rock-hard shell, and that shell exists for a very specific biological reason. Nature designed it that way on purpose. The most common mistake I see, over and over again, is people planting the pit straight out of the fruit, fresh, wet, still smelling like peach juice, directly into a pot or straight into the ground. They assume that because it came from a living fruit, it's ready to grow immediately. It's not. Another huge mistake is planting the pit too deep, burying it 3 or 4 inches down where it simply doesn't get the oxygen or temperature signals it needs. Some folks also make the mistake of keeping the pit somewhere warm all winter, like a windowsill or a heated room, thinking warmth equals growth. For most temperate fruit pits, warmth without proper cold exposure actually keeps that seed locked in dormancy even longer. And then there's the classic mistake, planting the whole pit, shell and all, without doing anything to help that root break through. The shell is so hard that even if the embryo inside is alive and healthy, it can physically struggle to force its way out on its own, especially in compacted garden soil. So why does this happen? Let's get into the actual reasoning behind it, and I promise I'll keep this simple. No complicated botany lecture. Peaches, plums, and cherries all belong to the same family, and their seeds have what's called physical and physiological dormancy. Physical dormancy means the hard outer shell, that woody pit you're used to seeing, physically blocks water and oxygen from reaching the embryo inside. Physiological dormancy means even if water and oxygen do get in, the embryo itself is biologically asleep and needs a specific trigger to wake up. In nature, that trigger is winter. When a peach falls to the ground in late summer or fall, it sits through months of cold, damp conditions before spring arrives. That extended period of cold and moisture sends a signal to the embryo that winter has passed and it's now safe to grow. This process is called stratification, and it's not optional. It's essential. Skip it, and that seed can sit dormant for a very long time, sometimes never breaking dormancy at all, especially in a controlled home environment where it never experiences a real winter cycle. On top of that cold requirement, the hard shell itself is a mechanical barrier. Even after the embryo has gone through its cold period and is biologically ready to grow, it still has to physically push a root through that thick, woody casing. In nature, freeze-thaw cycles, soil microbes, and moisture slowly weaken that shell over months. In your backyard, especially in a pot, that natural weakening process often doesn't happen fast enough, so the seed can rot from excess moisture before it ever manages to break through. This is exactly why commercial growers and serious nursery propagators don't just toss pits in the ground and hope. They follow a specific, repeatable process, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step right now, exactly the way I do it myself. Step 1 is cleaning the pit properly. As soon as you finish eating the peach, plum, or cherry, don't just wipe the pit and set it aside. Rinse it thoroughly under water, scrubbing off every trace of fruit flesh with your fingers or an old toothbrush. Any leftover sugar or fruit residue left on that pit becomes a breeding ground for mold during the next stage, and mold is one of the single biggest killers of stratified seeds. Once it's clean, let it air dry on a paper towel for about 2 to 3 days at room temperature, out of direct sunlight. You're not trying to dry it out completely, just remove the surface moisture so it's not sitting wet before storage. Step 2 is cracking or scoring the shell, and this is the step almost nobody talks about, but it makes an enormous difference in both germination speed and success rate. Take the dried pit and, using a pair of pliers, a bench vise, or even a sturdy nutcracker, apply gentle, controlled pressure to the seam of the pit. You'll notice most peach, plum, and cherry pits have a natural ridgeline running around them. Squeeze slowly along that seam until you hear or feel a small crack. You are not trying to smash it open or expose the inner kernel completely. You just want to create a small fracture or crack in the shell, enough that water and air can penetrate, without damaging the embryo inside. If you're nervous about doing this by hand, you can also use sandpaper to gently thin down one small section of the shell instead, a technique called scarification, which achieves the same result more gently. This single step alone can cut your germination time down dramatically because you're removing that mechanical barrier before the seed even goes into cold storage. Step 3 is preparing your stratification medium. Take a sealable plastic bag or a small container and fill it with a moist growing medium. A mix of peat moss and perlite works excellent, but plain moist sand or even a folded damp paper towel will also do the job just fine. The key word here is moist, not wet. If you squeeze a handful of the medium and water drips out, it's too wet, and that's a direct invitation for mold and rot. It should feel like a wrung-out sponge, damp to the touch but not dripping. Place your cracked pits into this medium, making sure they're fully surrounded. Then seal the bag or container, leaving a small opening or a few tiny holes for airflow. Step 4 is the cold stratification period itself, and this is where patience becomes your best friend. Place that sealed bag or container into your refrigerator, not the freezer. Somewhere it will maintain a steady temperature between roughly 33 and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. This mimics that natural winter chill the seed would experience outdoors. For peaches and plums, you're typically looking at somewhere between 8 and 12 weeks of cold stratification. Cherries, particularly sweet cherries, often need a little longer, sometimes up to 16 weeks, because their dormancy tends to be a bit deeper. Mark your calendar the day you put them in, because tracking time here matters more than people realize. Step 5 is checking on your pits regularly, at minimum once a week. Open the bag, look for any signs of mold, white or fuzzy growth on the shell or medium. And if you spot any, remove the affected pit immediately and gently rinse the others in cool water before returning them to fresh, slightly damp medium. This regular check is also your opportunity to monitor moisture levels. If the medium is drying out, mist it lightly with water. What you are watching for, and this is the exciting part, is the first sign of a tiny white root tip beginning to emerge from that crack you created in step 2. For some pits, this happens right around the 6 to 8 week mark if conditions are ideal. For others, it takes the full stratification period. The moment you see that little white root, that's your seed, telling you it's alive, it's broken dormancy, and it's ready to grow. Step 6 is potting up at exactly the right time. As soon as you see that root tip, don't wait around, because that fragile new root is delicate and can be damaged if left too long in the bag, or it can even start growing into the paper towel or medium itself, making it harder to transplant cleanly. Fill a small pot 4 to 6 inches deep with a well-draining potting mix and plant the pit with the root pointing downward, burying it about 1 to 1.5 inches deep. Water it gently, place it somewhere with bright indirect light initially, not direct scorching sun right away, and keep the soil consistently moist but never soggy. Now let me walk you through this the way I would if we were standing in front of a table together with a handful of pits and a magnifying glass, because seeing this in your mind matters just as much as hearing the steps. Picture a peach pit, fresh out of cold storage. Run your thumb along that seam I mentioned earlier. You'll actually feel a subtle ridge, almost like a tiny mountain range running around the middle of the pit. That's exactly where you want to apply pressure when cracking it, because the shell is naturally thinner and weaker right along that line. When you crack it correctly, you won't see the inner kernel falling out or exposed to the air. You'll just see a hairline fracture, maybe 1/8 of an inch wide, just enough for moisture to seep in. Now imagine pulling a pit out of your stratification bag at week 9. You notice the medium around it has a slightly earthy smell, not a sour or moldy smell. That's a good sign. You gently roll the pit between your fingers, and there it is. A small, pale, almost translucent root tip poking out from that crack, maybe 1/4 inch long, curling slightly downward, already responding to gravity even inside the bag. That's the exact moment you want to capture and pot up immediately, because that root is going to start growing fast, sometimes 1 inch or more, within just a week or two once it's in soil with the right warmth and moisture. Compare that to a pit that was never cracked, never stratified, just planted straight from the fruit. Dig that one up after 2 months, and more often than not, you'll find the shell completely intact, maybe slightly softened on the outside from soil moisture, but the embryo inside either still fully dormant or worse, rotted from sitting in constantly moist soil without ever breaking dormancy properly. That's the difference this process makes, and it's not subtle. It's the difference between a pit that becomes a tree and a pit that becomes compost. Now I want to hear from you directly, because this matters. Have you ever tried growing a peach, plum, or cherry tree from a pit before, and did it actually sprout for you? If you've successfully grown a tree from seed using stratification, or even if you tried and it failed and you're not sure why, drop the word roots in the comments below and tell me what happened. I read every single comment, and I want to know how many of you have tried this before, because it's going to shape what I cover in future videos on this channel. Now let's get into something most growers, even experienced backyard growers, genuinely don't know, and I consider this one of the most valuable tips I can give you in this entire video. Most people assume that once cold stratification is complete, the process is finished and the seed is simply ready to grow whenever conditions are warm enough. But here's the insider secret. Many stone fruit varieties, especially certain cherry cultivars, actually respond better to what's called a warm, cold, warm cycle rather than a single straight cold period. What this means practically is that after your initial period of moist storage at room temperature for 1 to 2 weeks right after cleaning, before you even put it in the fridge, you allow a brief, warm, moist period first. This mimics the natural cycle of a seed dropping in late summer while the ground is still warm, then transitioning into the cold of winter, then warming again in spring. Skipping that first warm phase and going straight into cold storage from a freshly cleaned pit can sometimes result in what growers call a double dormancy, where the seed requires 2 full cold cycles instead of 1 to actually germinate. By giving that short warm period first, then moving to your standard cold stratification, you dramatically reduce the risk of the seed needing a second full winter before it'll sprout. This one adjustment alone has saved me an entire growing season on multiple occasions, and it's something you almost never hear discussed in basic gardening advice. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the common mistakes that trip people up even after they know the process, because knowing the steps and executing them correctly are 2 different things. Mistake number 1 is overwetting the stratification medium. I cannot stress this enough. Soggy medium is the number 1 cause of rot during stratification. If in doubt, err on the side of slightly drier rather than wet. Mistake number 2 is cracking the pit too aggressively and damaging the embryo itself. If you split the pit wide open and expose or nick the actual kernel, you've likely killed the seed's ability to grow. Go slow, apply gentle pressure, and stop the moment you feel or hear that first crack. Mistake number 3 is losing track of time and leaving pits in cold stratification for months longer than needed, well past when the root has emerged. Once that root shows up, time is critical. Pot it up within days, not weeks. Mistake number 4 is transplanting too early or too roughly once the seedling sprouts in soil, disturbing those fragile new roots before the plant has established itself, which shocks the young seedling and can stunt or kill it. And mistake number 5, one I see constantly, is forgetting to label which pit came from which fruit variety. If you're stratifying multiple peach, plum, and cherry pits at the same time, and trust me, you should be doing several at once, because not every pit will germinate even with perfect technique, always label your bags and pots. Nothing is more frustrating than growing a beautiful little tree for 2 years, only to have no idea whether it's a peach, a plum, or a cherry, or which specific variety it came from. Growing a tree from a single pit, watching it go from a hard, lifeless-looking shell to a tiny white root, to a seedling, to eventually a tree that produces its own fruit. That's one of the most rewarding things you can do as a grower. It costs you nothing but a little patience and the right technique, and now you have exactly that technique. Don't let another season of pits go to waste sitting in a drawer or thrown straight into soil with no preparation. Take what you learned today, clean those pits, crack them properly, stratify them the right way, and watch how fast and how strong those roots come in compared to anything you've tried before. If this video helped you understand something you've been struggling with, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next, because I've got new practical growing content dropping every week, and you genuinely don't want to fall behind on this. And speaking of what's coming next, in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do once that seedling is established in its pot. How to harden it off, when, and how to transplant it into the ground, and the specific early care mistakes that kill young peach, plum, and cherry trees within their very first year. That video is going to save a lot of you trees you'd otherwise lose, so make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on, because I'll see you in the next one.